Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to call up Bennett Title II, Amendment 1. And as many of you have heard me say, and actually Senator Collins and I had this conversation last night at about 10 o'clock on the Senate floor, we have a system of recruiting, supporting, advancing, and retaining teachers and principals that belongs to the last century. It was designed in the last century. It was designed with a labor market that discriminated against women. That was the backdrop that we had. And women had two professional choices. One was being a teacher and one was being a nurse. Thank goodness those days are long over. But the system that we have, that we're allegedly trying to attract people with, is that system. And we haven't updated it at all. And it was a system that when we had a discriminatory labor market, actually subsidized public education because it meant that maybe the very best British literature student in her class was willing to become a teacher because she couldn't do anything else. And those days are long over. And that's why I've been focused on Title II, and I'm so glad the work the Chairman and Senator Murray have done on Title II in the base bill. It includes many provisions that I advocated for, including those focused on raising the quality of activities and updating the activities to reflect current needs and current realities. We still have a long, long way to go, but it provides support for teacher and school leader residency programs and vital provisions to support principal recruitment, training, and support. I want to thank the Chairman and thank the ranking member for their very good work here. This is going to make a big difference to people. It's going to change Title II from being essentially a slush fund of unaccountable professional development into something that actually is going to, I think, lead the way for a new generation of teachers. And it's got a competitive grant program to help support the modernization of human capital systems. Districts will address the entirety of their educator systems and make much needed improvements. This amendment, the amendment I offer today, builds on this work by making it clear that states and districts are able to use funding in Title II to support teacher leadership opportunities. I've heard from teachers all across Colorado who are interested in growing their profession and expanding their reach and opportunities. They want to become mentors. They want to lead professional development and become part of great instructional teams, and we need them to. This amendment provides support for those opportunities that will allow states and districts to invest in the next generation of teacher leaders. We worked on this amendment with the Colorado Education Association. I want to thank them and great teachers in my home state. Amendments supported by the National Education Association, the American Federation of Teachers, Teach Plus, the Center for American Progress, and New Leaders for New Schools. I encourage all of my colleagues to support the amendment. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Further debate?
I would just say, Mr. Chairman, thank you to Senator Collins for co-sponsoring. Thank you to the Senator from Georgia as well for your comments. And I'd also like to thank Senator Casey for his work on this amendment and for co-sponsoring it as well. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll be very brief. We talked about this morning. This is a bipartisan amendment that just makes clear that that districts can use funding to support teacher leadership opportunities. I think Senator Isaacson said it very well. Too often it's just a binary choice between being a teacher in a classroom or being an administrator. This creates the opportunity, it doesn't mandate anything, but creates the opportunity to use Title II funds for teacher-led professional development, for mentoring programs and other kinds of things that give teachers the opportunity to expand their sphere of influence without necessarily having to become an administrator. So I'd ask for everybody's support.
There is broad bipartisan support for this amendment, so without objection, we'll have a roll call vote. I mean a voice vote.
That'd be fine.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Senator Bennett's amendment is adopted. Senator